Pokémon, a game everyone knows and sometimes love. As a child, I played Pokémon Emerald a ton and loved the game, and decided, for nostalgia's sake, I would play it again. I decided it was my turn to take on the randomized Nuzlocke challenge with my viewers. Except, there's going to be a little bit of a twist. I set up channel points for them to redeem to essentially make my life miserable. This is going to be part 1 of the series, so if you enjoy this, please make sure to subscribe and like the video. It helps a lot more than you know. So if you'd like to join in on the fun, I'll be streaming Pokemon every Monday on my Twitch channel. So without further ado, let's get into the action. So we start off our run like any other Pokemon Emerald playthrough begins. Some strange man we've never seen before tries to invite us over to his lab. Our mom shoves us into the back of a moving truck like we're just another material item to her. We are told to set our clock. We watch as our absentee father enjoys his fame on TV, walk into some random girl's room with her mother's permission, and watch as the professor gets chased around by a wild Pokemon who isn't even that strong. Like, really? He can't handle one Zigzagoon? Does that about sum it up? So now it was time to choose our starter, which I let chat decide for me. Out of Doduo, Tropius, and Dragonite, they were feeling a bit merciful and decided to give me Dragonite. The wild Zigzagoon stood no chance, and we returned to the lab where he gave us the Dragonite. Yeah, after that performance, you don't deserve to have any Pokemon at all. We nicknamed it Oddity after one of our viewers and get ready to set out on our journey. On Route 101, we are greeted with an Espeon, which is one of my favorites, and Venusaur, who would have been great additions, but I still didn't have any Pokeballs at this time. We finally make it up to May, where she goes to do her research and battle her. She sends out her Doduo, and I send out Oddity, who makes very short work of them. Now with that, we need to go back down to the lab to officially start our Nuzlocke journey. Okay, and the run has officially started. We get the running shoes from Mom, and then we sprint towards our first encounter, who happens to be a Lickitung. Yeah, you can imagine my excitement. Nevertheless, we took the opportunity to catch it and add it to our team. Chat thought it would be funny to name it Mediocre, and I like the name, so it stuck. Mediocre only knew one move and it was pretty weak, so I was less than thrilled, but we needed to move on. We took to Route 103 to get our next encounter, which turned out to be a Shuppet. That was easily caught, and chat named him Stuart. Excited to get the next encounter, we hurried to Route 102, where we encountered... No shot! We are not catching this thing. Please catch. Please catch. Please catch. Please catch. Ah! Yeah, that was never happening. Moltres faints from rep, and we are forced to move on. From there, we take on the rest of the route where this girl has a Mew? All I wanted to know was where she got it, and how I can get one too. Mew is my all-time favorite Pokemon, and since I missed out on Espeon, I would have loved to have that. Alas, we beat the trainer, and it is time to babysit Wally as he catches his first Pokemon. And he kills it. Yep, that was definitely how you catch Pokemon, Wally. We return to the gym where Wally lies to my father to keep any ounce of pride that he may have left. After that, we move on to Route 104, where we encounter a Marowak. While trying to capture it, it almost takes out Mediocre. Get in. No! But a swap back to Oddity secures an easy catch. We decide to name the Marowak after a viewer and continue on our journey. Our next destination is Petalburg Woods, where our next encounter waits for us. Running into a Spearow, we have a good solid team around us, and I decide to let out a voice of my relief. But yeah, we should be chilling right now. Little did I know, I made one of the biggest mistakes I could have made. You see, being a small streamer, sometimes things get a little lonely, so I decided to send a message to my friend group. Shortly after, I see this message in chat, and I know my future is going to be a difficult one. You see, my friends have watched my streams before, and have had a decent amount of points stacked up throughout the time. Helise decided now would be a great time to strike. Tariq, I hate you! I freaking hate you. I hate you so much right now. Stop! 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 No!
See, this is why I should have made it more.
So with one of my point redemptions being forcing me to release one Pokemon from my party randomly, this meant the run could die right here. With a sad and heavy heart, I named the newly caught Spearow and got ready to spin the wheel to seal my fate.
I'm gonna name this thing Probably Dead because it's probably gonna be gone anyway. Okay, it's random. Yeah, but here's... That takes 3 hours to get, is the thing. You have to. It takes 3 hours to get 1,000 points. Okay, it's not too small? Okay. So... We had someone redeem 3 releases. Okay, so we're gonna do 1 through 5. So Dragonite's 1, Lickitungue's 2, Shuppet 3, Marowak 4, and our Sparrow is number 5. Okay, number 4. Lewis, I'm so sorry. 5, and that's a Spearow. Get that dragon out of here. Oh, okay. So that's Lickitungue. That's Lickitungue.
Now that the wheel has decided who to release, I went to the PC and started letting them go. Viewers cried as I lost Lewis. The inevitable happened when we lost the Spearow. And we were kinda okay with the death of Mediocre, not gonna lie. It was a heavy burden to bear, but fate had spoken, and I can't argue with that. And right in the middle of spinning and releasing, another redemption occurred right in the middle of that, where we are forced to spin the wheel of fortune or doom, which can either have good things or bad things.
Okay, so now for the next one, James had redeemed the Spear the Wind of Doom or Fortune. So I'd kind of come up with some things.
But this time, thankfully, it landed on something good after the arrival of Helise.
Go to the first route and catch the 3rd encounter.
Going back to the first route, we ran into an Espeon, a Lickitungue, and then another Lickitungue. I really just can't escape this thing, can I? Anyway, catching that, we name it after the person who redeemed the wheel and go back to Petalburg Woods to save the businessman from the evil thug. He sends out a Venusaur who knew my weakness, Leech Seed. With the combination of being distracted from chat and not knowing I could swap out on Leech Seed, this fight had some preventable losses.
I can't switch though, because I have Leech Seed. Oh! Never mind. Achoa! You're lying to me!
Yeah, not my proudest moment. And kinda bruised from earlier, this loss hurt all the more. After that, we were able to defeat the Venusaur, and the businessman was able to retreat to the city. Yeah, so Helise made an even bigger dent in my weakened soul.
Going over to my mom's. Just dropped in for... Tariq, I hate you.
And made me put away Oddity in the box for 10 trainer battles. And what makes this worse was that chat was happy. They celebrated. They laughed at my pain. I guess that's the whole point. But still, it started a fire in me. I told myself I would get through this. And with only having Lickitungue to use, I decided that I needed to train. This was the beginning of my comeback story. And I knew Lickitungue could carry me through.
I'm actually screwed. Why is it level 11? This is over.
Dude,
This is
dude
over.
normally has a level 9.
Why did I do so much?
Yeah, so that didn't end up happening. But honestly, who expects a level 11 Scizor to pop up and wreck shop like that? With this loss under my belt, I fearfully decided to give the run another shot. And so we began again with the same old routine. Random man talks to us, mom puts us in the bag, blah blah blah, I think you know by this point. Getting to the juicy part, chat gets to choose my starter. And out of Macargo, Slowbro, and Cacnea, I'm told to pick Macargo. We defeat the Zigzagoon and name it after the person who has been with us since the beginning, Oddity. We take on May, who foolishly picked Cacnea to fight my Macargo, and begin our journey anew. Our very first encounter is Abra. We all know what happens here. With a sad heart, we move on to Route 103 where we encounter a Makuhita, and are able to easily catch it with the help of Flame Body. We name it after a viewer and move on. Moving on to Route 102, we encounter a Hariyama.
This
Species.
Wait,
Hariyama.
I'm about to see what you hit.
Which we can use to re-encounter. Doing so nets us an Ammonite, in which we name Achoa after one of my mods. Now feeling good about some of the success we have made, we continue on our journey, ready to face what's next, until... But with some good luck, we were able to land on this.
I get another counter on the route you choose.
With this, we are off to Route 102 for another encounter where we find a freaking Charizard. I couldn't believe my luck. Maybe things were really turning around for me after all. With that catch secured and naming it after the viewer who made us spin the wheel, it was now time to once again babysit. This time things were a little bit different for Wally. He was able to find and catch a Dragonite. I really hope this doesn't come back to haunt me later on. With Wally getting the Dragonite, it was time for us to get an encounter of our own on Route 104. Racing over there, we encounter a Dragonair.
Oddity can live on.
What are the odds of that? With the catch secured, we name it after Oddity once again so he can return to his former glory. But little did I know the pain awaiting for me. We had yet again another redemption to spin the wheel, and this time, fate wouldn't be so kind to me.
Oh jeez. Anthony, no! You don't know what you've done.
So we took a spin, and well, you already know what happens.
I want
What'd
to
you
die.
hit?
I want to die.
Release a Pokemon. Alright.
Macargo 1, Charizard 2, Almanite 3, Makuita 4, Dragonair 5. I want to cry. I know, you just joined and you're already making chaos for me. I wanted that so bad. I just caught it.
So having to say goodbye to Oddity the Dragonair, it felt like the world was playing some cruel joke on me as Wally gets a Dragonite, but mine gets taken away. And chat, once again, loves my suffering. We continue on our journey though, and as I am innocently picking berries like the farmer I am, the chat decides to box a Pokemon, and James manipulates Anthony into choosing Oddity the Macargo. Trying to overcome our setbacks, we take on this trainer, who ends up giving me 1,600 Pokédollars, which feels like she did that out of pity, like she knows how desperate I am right now. In an effort to keep some semblance of a viable team, we move on to Petalburg Woods, where we encounter a Swampert, and man, that was some good news in the middle of a storm. As we are catching it, Oddity returns from his hiatus and asks,
You're the Macargo, right? Yeah, someone
No,
redeemed points.
no. Wasn't Oddity the Dragonair? Aren't you gone?
Well,
Was he too?
I named it. I named the Dragonair Oddity because the Dragonite that we had on the first run, but he was too because he was named the
okay.
Macargo, and so you got put away in the box for 10 battles. I'm popular, I guess. People, I don't know what it is. Like they just don't like your Pokemon for some reason.
It seems like there is an aura surrounding the Pokemon I named after Oddity, as chat and seemingly fate would want to find any way possible to get rid of them. We catch the Swampert, and chat decides to name it Java. Okay, so that does it for this part of the series. This is the final team that we're going to be using in the next stream. Continuing on in the next part of this series, we're still going to have Oddity the Macargo be boxed away for 8 more battles. But I'm going to decide to change some things with the channel points, as this was kind of a rough draft for the series and things seemed a little bit too overpowered for chat. Some changes include, instead of 10 battles, we're going to reduce it down to 5. Releasing a Pokemon now costs more points. Cooldowns on some redemptions and redemption limits on certain rewards, such as releasing a Pokemon, can happen 5 times per stream. If you guys enjoyed this, please consider supporting me, as I would love to do this more often, but it is kind of hard with the constraints I am in right now. Anyway, thank you for watching. Peace.